How's it going, everyone? So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to increase your bench press with these 3 tips anyone can do. So before I get started, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do appreciate the support. It helps my channel grow. So I'm going to tell you the tips that made me basically go from a 280 bench press to about a 340 bench press. The number one thing for bench press, if I had to pick any tip, is that bench press weight correlates to how much you weigh. So you can take a 300-pound guy. If he's even moderately strong, he should be able to bench about 300 pounds. If you take someone who's 150 pounds, for them to bench 300 pounds, they're going to have damn near elite powerlifting strength to do that. So your bench press numbers really correlate to your body weight. So an average, like an intermediate bench presser should have about 1.5 times their body weight to bench press strength. So what I mean by that is if you're 200 pounds and you're pretty strong, you should be able to bench about 300 pounds. Because again, that's 1.5 times your body weight. If you're about 150 pounds, you should be able to bench about 220. Now for me, I was stuck at 280. What I did for my bench press, I was bench pressing 280, it was about 180 pounds. What I did is I went from 180 to 200 pounds and I got 340 pounds on bench press extremely easily, just by gaining weight. The main thing for body weight that correlates to the lifts is bench press. Your bench press number and your body weight is very, very similar in correlation. Your squat is the next one, and then the deadlift is the one that doesn't have that much correlation. So you could be 160 pounds for your deadlift you could be 160 pounds body weight and still deadlift like 600 pounds. It really doesn't matter how much you weigh for deadlift, but bench press, it does like the most. Squat, it has to some degree too. So again, the number one tip, try to gain weight. Your bench press numbers will instantly start to skyrocket. Second tip, train your shoulders. That was another thing that I started to do. I started shoulder pressing. My shoulder press was about 155, which was pretty decent. I got it to about 240. And again, my bench press just skyrocketed. Shoulders are extremely, extremely important for a raw bench press. A lot of people talk about the lats, they talk about the triceps. That is important, but that's more towards if you're equipped lifting. So if you're wearing like a bench press shirt, the main thing, if you're trying to bench press big numbers, going to be shoulders, then your triceps, in my opinion. Some people say triceps, then shoulders. I think it's shoulders, then triceps. Third tip, and this is one that a lot of people don't know, is your technique. This is actually super important. You should have a little arc in your back. So a lot of people, they'll put their back flat like this. When I do it, I like to have just a little arc. And then I make sure that my feet are planted on the ground. Your heels should be on the ground. Just in case you ever want to do raw powerlifting, when you're powerlifting, you can't have your toes on the ground. Sorry, your toes and heels have to be on the ground. You can't just have your toes on the ground when you're bench pressing. So that's what I recommend. End the video. Thank you so much for watching.